Hellfire. Armageddon. The Tupacalypse. The world is ending, and all I can think about is what car I would drive. But before we get to that, big thanks to our sponsor for this episode, Morning Brew. Get smarter in just 5 minutes. Back to the episode. I spent years doing research using the most reputable source on the subject, Hollywood. From Armageddon to 2012, The Day After Tomorrow to San Andreas, surviving each of these scenarios is difficult, but having the right vehicle with the right modifications might make the difference between life and death. A motorcycle would be great if you had to flee a giant tidal wave, but wouldn't be great in a crowd of zombies. A speedboat wouldn't do much for Mad Max, but it would certainly give you a leg up if you're in the post-apocalyptic world of Waterworld. Waterworld is the best ride at Universal Studios. Changed my mind. Each of these scenarios has unique considerations, so we're going to go through some of them and explain what vehicles we think would give you the best chance of surviving each unique apocalyptic scenario. Let's start with the Supervolcano. Deep below Yellowstone National Park lies a dormant volcano that covers roughly 1,300 square miles. Scientists studying rock samples have found that the Yellowstone eruptions were of global scale. Some say that we are millions of years overdue for another massive eruption. That's comforting. If you're not in the immediate blast zone, you still have hot ash to worry about. But a lot of you have been doing some worrying about some hot ash, huh? In fact, the entire United States would be covered in a layer of ash ranging from a couple centimeters down in Florida to 3 feet in the states surrounding Yellowstone. Since the roads will be covered in ash, an all-terrain vehicle with lots of torque is preferable. This is the Mercedes-Benz Zetros 2733 6x6. It's an RV made for the apocalypse. You may have heard of its more utilitarian brother, the Unimog. It's got a water-cooled 7.2-liter diesel inline-six that puts out 330 horsepower and produces close to 1,000 foot-pounds of torque. Pair that with a 9-speed transmission and 6 powered wheels, and you can get almost any type of terrain with ease. The outside is rough and rugged, but the inside is oh so nice. Heated marble floors, a fully functional bathroom with a shower, 2 TVs, and a room to sleep 6. Honestly, I don't know what the TVs would do because, actually no, the satellites would still be up. They'd probably still be broadcasting something, right? Maybe reruns of Jersey Shore. The Zetros can handle a massive amount of weight as well, 16 tons to be exact. When you run out of food, no problem, just hop in the ATV that comes standard in its own rear compartment. Who's buying these things? The Zetros 6x6 is great for longer trips in less than ideal conditions, but what if you're right next to the volcano? Then you'll want the Ripsaw Ev3. This $250,000 luxury tank, that's a real term, can traverse much more rugged terrain. Compared to the Zetros, which costs over $1 million, the Ripsaw is a steal. Sure, you're not gonna get the heated marble floors, but you do get a tank with treads and a 1,500 horsepower engine. Assuming access to gas isn't an issue, the Duramax V8 has enough power to do a frickin' wheelie and jump over a river of lava. This is a tank that can do a wheelie. If gas isn't readily available, which is pretty likely in the end of the world, you'll have about 300 miles to figure it out. If not, you might end up dying in an acid lake like the grandma in Dante's Peak. R.I.P. Lava is pretty damn scary. You know what's scarier than lava? Gigantic monsters. From King Kong to the kaiju to whatever Cloverfield is, escaping these monsters is nearly impossible. You're gonna need to outwit them more than anything. A low, dark, and nimble sports car is ideal. This is the Porsche 918 Spyder. The 918 doesn't have any armor, but it can go 214 miles an hour. If you can't outrun a monster, you can confuse and outmaneuver it. And since monsters always destroy cities, your vehicle is gonna have to hip and hop through narrow city streets to get away. Even more nimble than the 918 is the Track T800 CDI motorcycle. This Mercedes-designed 3-cylinder turbo diesel motorcycle can do over 100 miles to the gallon and runs on almost anything that burns, not just diesel. You can stop by an Arby's and fill up on horsey sauce. It's an enduro bike, which means it's meant for long off-road treks. So once you escape the city, you'll be fine on just about any terrain. Nowadays, technology is advancing at an alarming rate. The threat of AI becoming self-aware and revolting against mankind was once seen as a joke. but has recently become quite a concern. Actually, one of my main concerns, and I'm not joking. In the event of a robotic uprising, what vehicle do you use? Easy. Fire truck. You blast their motherboards with your fire hose, then you escape while all the Terminators are drying out in a bowl of rice. Next, sentient robots killing us all might seem like a distant threat, but one apocalyptic scenario is already happening right before our eyes. Climate change is throwing Earth's delicate ecosystem into chaos, and one big side effect is our polar ice caps melting. This has a number of catastrophic effects, the main one being that our oceans are rising rapidly. We could need amphibious vehicles sooner than later. Why is everyone in Waterworld so dirty? Just wash your hands in the water. The Gibbs Quadski is an ATV that can easily traverse both land and sea. It's powered by a BMW-built 4-cylinder engine that cranks out 175 horsepower. It's got a 15-gallon fuel tank, which gives it quite a range. The Quadski can do 45 miles per hour on land and water, and once it hits the water, the wheels fold up into the body in 5 seconds. If you're looking for a more traditional vehicle, maybe one that can transport a post-apocalyptic family of 4, the water car Panther might be the car for you. This Jeep-based water car has a Honda-built V6 and is considered the fastest amphibious vehicle in the entire world. It can do 80 on land and 45 in the water. One thing the Panther can't protect you from is zombies. They're definitely one of the slower and more ominous threats, but just as terrifying. Whether they're the slow and lumbering types or the rage virus sprinting types, zombies by themselves are pretty easily defeated, but their power lies in numbers, and a horde of the undead is nothing to scoff at. When you have to drive through a crowd of hundreds or thousands of them, you're gonna need a Burly Boy Husky Jeans edition vehicle, or else your car will get totally overpowered. The Conquest Knight 15 is a sight to behold. It's so fitting for an end-of-days scenario. You would have thought it was designed after the apocalypse. Now, I've actually seen this thing. It comes with a 6.8-liter V10 flex fuel engine. It needs the massive engine because everything from the doors to the hood to the chassis are reinforced steel and aluminum, making it close to 12,000 pounds. That's a lot. The interior is luxurious and full of accessories like 3 TVs and an individual climate controlled. Scalloped leather upholstery emblazoned with a capital K for night means that you'll be comfortable no matter what horrors are going on outside your car. If your daddy owns a mine, you might want to consider this truck right here for surviving the zombie apocalypse. The Caterpillar 797F is 51 feet high. If you make sure to block zombies from climbing up the ladder, you should be relatively safe as you escape. The 797 has a 105-liter quad turbocharged V20 diesel engine that puts out close to 4,000 horsepower. 105 liters is a gigantic displacement, but luckily the Cat has a 2,000-gallon fuel tank to feed that thirsty engine. The tires are 31 feet wide. Imagine how many zombies can be crushed at one time. In a zombie apocalypse, the majority of us won't have access to the Knight 15 or the Cat. One vehicle that is more common, albeit less armored, is the Tesla Model X. It's fast, quiet, and doesn't rely on gasoline. Plus, it's got a bioweapon defense mode, this is real, which would be immensely useful if what's turning people into zombies is spread organically. Mad Max has always been a movie franchise made for gearheads. It's full of raucous, Frankenstein hot rods, and has some of the best fight chase scenes of any movie to date. Even though civilization has collapsed and gas is scarce, everyone has gigantic engines. This has never made sense to me. If you're in a post-apocalyptic world with almost no access to gas, why do you have a big V8? Why is there a whole gang of marauders that all have V8s? Why is Charlize Theron shaving her head? How does she even do that? They don't have clippers. In a realistic Mad Max universe, everyone's gonna be driving jacked up cars, but they're not gonna be Chargers, they're gonna be Priuses. That's my hot take. The bad guy, I mean, they all have cod pieces in these movies. They all wear assless chaps. What's going on? But you know what, if I'm being realistic, we're not gonna be able to find any of these vehicles. My pick for apocalypse car, Toyota Corolla. They're easy to find, they're everywhere, okay? Easy to work on, and they last forever. Corollas never die, just like Goonies. I'd put wire over all the windows and windshield, fuel tank in the trunk, maybe some dirt tires if I can find them, and try to put a big push bar on the front. But also, I'm not really sure I'd want to survive the apocalypse anyway. Wastelands look like they kind of suck. Morning Brew is a free daily business newsletter that's sent directly to your email, okay? Every day, they send you 5 minutes of the juiciest, most easy to digest business news from Silicon Valley to Wall Street. Join 1 million other people who are already in the know by clicking the link in the description and signing up for Morning Brew. If you like Donut and you want to support us, support these guys because these sponsorships are how we're able to do these every week. Thanks for watching this episode of WheelHouse. Please like this video if you want to survive the apocalypse. That's the only way you can. Tell me what vehicle you would want in the apocalypse. I'm actually really curious. I want to see some clever picks. Don't just choose.
F-150 would probably be better than the Corolla.
Yeah, I know an F-150 would also be good, but it's all for the same reasons as a Corolla. Hit this yellow button right here to subscribe to Donuts. Check out this episode of WheelHouse right here. Check out this episode of Up to Speed. Follow me on Instagram at Nolan J. Sykes. Follow Donut at Donut Media. And even during the apocalypse, be nice. I'll see you next time.